bucket fillers. How are you tonight? It's so good to see you guys and have you here. Hi, Linda. And thank you for, yes, Vivian VanGoo is related to Grandma Goo, I think. Definitely had to fit, if that was the name Carolyn came up with the Van Goo instead of Van Gogh. Sorry, hangnail, biting that. So off we go. Vivian Van Goo is going to be on the go. Yes. So we're almost all packed and getting things ready. And it's just, whoa. I mean, well, probably not almost all packed. Um, I packed the snack bucket. I've packed my camera bag. I've packed some of my art things. And of course, Bob's been all about what food and what utensils and stuff, and I'm like, well, on that. That's not even the thing that I'm really worried about. Yes. So anyway, that's kind of the what we're going for, and we still have a few things. I I have to hit the dollar store tomorrow for a couple more um, containers that I found perfect that fit really nicely in and can put things in. Um, only got 3 of them, and I needed 5. I didn't realize that they would fit so perfectly. And then um, I he got another container for snacks, and I packed that, and he got one for dog food, and it fits. And repacked some things. I had some containers here that were old, kind of stuff that fit the tire cable, the jumper cables, and then the tire, um, what are they called? Tire sleeves instead of chains. They have these sleeves now, so we're not going to be in too much snow. We don't think. Well, there it could happen, but who knows? Who knows? So we've got all those contingencies, and now I just have to pack clothes for everything from 30 degrees to 95 degrees and everything in between for traveling. Just sorry. I got something in my eye. Excuse me. Oh, there we go. Hair was caught in my headphones there, and it was bugging my eye. So it's going to be quite the adventure. So I thought for tonight, for stories, to kick me off on the camping adventure. And since I'm not going to be on story and art for a while, probably until I get to Phoenix, probably till the middle of May. It'll be after the 15th, I'm sure, that I'll put a post in when I'm up for that again, but it may not be for a while because we'll be off road or off grid, because a lot of it if we're in the national parks, and then one whole day, well, 3 days, 3 or 4 days in Wyoming. And if you know anything about Wyoming, well, yes, National Park, Yellowstone, which is where we'll be for 2.5 days. But then we'll be driving from north to south in Wyoming, and yeah, not a lot of coverage. The county that Seattle is in, Seattle King County, has a larger population than the entire state of Wyoming. So and there's some pretty it'll be interesting. It's an area of Wyoming I haven't gone through before. I mean, I've been through Cody and all that stuff, but then we're going to take off through another area, so it'll be fun. But so I won't be back on. So I thought I would kick off the trip with some camping stories, and camping stories from some favorites of ours that I have, and that's what I'm going to do. But before that, it's too bad Larry's not here. He wanted this, and I have for you guys. I have a Vivvie tour. I saw antelope when I was in. Yes, yes, they are in antelope. They are in Wyoming. I've seen them there. It's real interesting. That particular kind of antelope does not cross fences well. Doesn't really know how to jump them, so they have these crossing areas so that the antelope can get out of different fields, and it's really amazing. So anyway, but I thought I'd start out the night. I was going to start out the night with the Vivvie tour, but maybe I'll end the show with Vivvie tour, and maybe Larry and everybody else might get here. So I think I will. I'll start with the stories, and we'll end with Vivian's tour and the tour of Vivvie VanGoo. She's a bit of an interesting thing. So the first book then I'm going to read is a classic, a classic character. Um, and it's just, I haven't read one of these in a long time to you guys. And so, but I think you're going to like it because we're going to start out the night. Oops, that's not Scaredy Squirm. We're not starting out with. Hold it. Go back. How did that get there? Oh, it's wrong book was open. We're going to start with Curious George. And Curious George goes camping. Now it's interesting the way they've loaded up this book and onto Libby. You'll have to forgive that there'll be an extra page in between that will have the things, but we will get there, and I've got it set up so mainly you can see the illustrations the best. Curious George Goes Camping by the wonderful Margaret and H.A. Ray, illustrated in the style of H.A. Ray by Vivvie Interactive. So this is a later tribute to the Curious George style. So this is George. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. This weekend, George and his friend, the man in the yellow hat, had special plans. They were going camping. At the campsite, the man with the yellow hat unpacked their gear while George looked at all the tents. He saw tents for big families and ones just the right size for a puppy. There were even tents on wheels. "Would you like to help me put up our tent, George?" the man asked. At the campsite, the man with the yellow hat had... Oh, see, it's doubling up the pages for me. George was happy to help. It would not be hard to set up a tent, he thought. But it wasn't easy. "George, why don't you fill our buckets with water at the pump?" his friend suggested. "We'll need it by our campsite later, when we roast marshmallows." Ooh. Marshmallows. George loved marshmallows. He couldn't wait to try them roasted. "Now, don't wander off and get into trouble," the man warned, but George did not hear him. He was already gone. At the pump, George worked the handle up and down, and soon his bucket was full. On the way back down the trail, he saw a family packing up. George watched a girl pour her bucket of water on a campfire, and the fire sizzled out. George thought that looked like fun. He poured his bucket of water on the next campfire. "Hey!" yelled a camper. "We weren't finished with that yet." And the camper began to chase George, but George didn't mean to cause trouble. Now he only wanted to hide. He ran into the forest as fast as he could, but the camper's footsteps followed close behind. George ran faster and faster. The footsteps came closer and closer until suddenly they were passing George. Why, it was not the camper chasing George now. It was a deer. What fun to run with a deer. Forgetting all about the camper and the marshmallows, George ran after the deer. But a little monkey cannot run as fast as a deer in the woods. Before long, George was lost and all alone. He felt tired and stopped to rest. At first, he was worried. He was very, very far from camp, but there were lots of other animals to keep him company. He saw a lizard sunning on the rock and a squirrel chattering in a tree. Then he saw the tail of a black and white kitty peeking out from under a bush. He was curious. Would the kitty like to play? George gently pulled the kitty out. But it was not a kitty. It was a skunk. And it was scared. And the skunk lifted its tail and sprayed. Oh, phew. The spray smelled awful. The animals tried to get away. George wanted to get away too, but he could not. The smell was all over him. Uh-oh. What happened there? How would he ever get rid of this awful smell, he wondered. Too bad he could not take a bath in the woods. Then George had an idea. He would wash the smell off in the creek. George jumped into the cold water. He splashed and scrubbed, but he was still smelly, and now he was wet too. But what could he do? George thought and thought. If he climbed up a tree to dry off, would the smell blow away? No. Even dry and high up in the tree, George did not smell better. Poor George. He wished he hadn't wandered so far from camp. He wished he were roasting marshmallows with his friend. Suddenly, George heard footsteps heading toward him. Someone was coming. Oops. It was the forest animals, but they ran right by him. They had seen something scary, and George saw it too. It was a fire. George had gotten into trouble for putting out one fire, but this fire wasn't in the campground. This was an emergency. Quickly, George climbed down the tree and grabbed his bucket. He scooped it full of water in the creek. Then, being careful not to spill, he climbed back up and swung from branch to branch through the trees. When George got close enough to the fire, he reached down and poured the water on the flames. Out went the fire with a big hiss. Just then, George's friend rushed out of the forest with a ranger. "George," he called, "I was afraid you would be here." "It's a good thing you were here, George," the ranger said. "We saw smoke from the campground, but you put this fire out just in time." George was glad to help, and the man with the yellow hat was glad to see George was safe, but he had a funny look on his face. "George," he said, "what is that smell?" Back at the campfire, George's friend helped him get rid of the awful smell with a strange bath in tomato juice, and George smelled fine. Then the man with the yellow hat invited the ranger to cook dinner with them over their own small campfire. "Fires can be nice if you're careful," said the ranger. And George agreed, especially for roasting marshmallows. And that, I think, yes, is the end of that one. There we go. Oh, there is Fatima. Hi. My skunks have more sour smell. Remind me of the first of spring in Arizona. They have a different smell there, too. Oh. Yeah, skunks can be, oh my gosh, I could always tell when there was a skunk nearby. My sister had Patty. They had a family of skunks out under one of their storage units. They have the containers and in the back of their property as storage, and some skunks had gotten in, and one had had babies, and they had a family of skunks there, and so Patty had to call Fish and Game and have them removed. Yeah. Linda, her dogs are tangled with them, and her former spouse got it when it was hilarious. I like them, just not under my buildings. Whoa. Okay. That's pretty funny. Okay, well, you know what? We got some people here. I'm going to go back and we'll finish with it. I have one more story, but you're in time, Fatima, for the tour for Vivian. For Vivian VanGoo, that was requested that I give a tour of Vivvie. And so I made a little video of the tour. It's not the best. It's a little vertical, and at the beginning it kind of wobbles because I had iMovie stabilize it, and I didn't realize what it was going to stabilize. It was going to make it kind of wonky, but it's kind of fun. It's about a few minutes, so we'll see. Here's a tour of Vivian. Okay, folks, so here is Vivian. Vivian VanGoo. So you wanted a tour, Larry, and everybody. So, front door. One of the things about Vita vans back in the day is they made a glove box optional. Yeah, so we don't have glove box, so we had to do some things. It's got a backup camera we had put in. So we bought this console thing to be like a glove box, and you can put your phone in there, and it plugs into the 12 volt in the back there that we have back there. I'll show you, and it can charge while it's in there. A couple cup holders, nice little thing to hold stuff. We've got a box underneath it too, because these cup holders are worthless. They're too shallow, but you know, for now. And side pockets are good. A few bottles of water. So I like my water. Here's Vivvie, the front of her, coming around passenger side. So these chairs, these captain chairs, will turn around and face the back when I want it to. And here she is. So we've added a couple things, garbage can. So this can be turned around completely and have a place to sit in. There's the refrigerator. There is a seat back here, and this seat will pull out and turn into a bed. So I'm going to sit down there. And there is storage here. Storage here. Storage there. And storage in there. And I put a little tension rod for a hanging locker there. Can't see around the sides. There you can. Hanging locker. And more storage there. I found some things to go in there. This particular little part of it, let me pull this up. Goes up, and underneath here is the sink. And here is a 2-burner stove. This pops up and hooks onto that up there, and it holds it up. So we've got a 2-burner propane stove. Down, clicks tight. So you have a little bit of counter space, but one of the cool things is these two things right here. I'm not going to set them up right now. They're the tables, and they hook underneath this. They have a little latch thing, and they hook here, and then they have a leg that goes down, and so there's 2 tables. So you can have a table for the front and a table here, and they slide along here, or you can use 1 or 2 at a time. Okay, now the other part. It's windy and rainy right now, so I'm not going to pop it up. But this right here up there, that is a pop top. And you can hardly see it there. There's another mattress up there. So this whole section right there, here I am. So there's a couple latches right there. You push those, you shove up, and the whole thing pops up. And then these things will fold back so that they sit on the back part back here. And so this whole spot you can stand up in. Plus, if they're folded out, you have a bed for the grandkids. Or I could sleep up there, but Bob and I will sleep down here because this turns into a full bed pull-out that we like and has a big mattress in the back. So there's the inside of Vivvie. And it looks like carpet, but it's not. It's a vinyl plastic kind of thing. There's also storage underneath the seat there. There we go. All right. Here we go. So this has, I got this for extra, I measured it. We have a composting toilet back there that we can use. We pulled out a return electric outdoor shower, more storage. House batteries under there, extra. Then when that pulls out, this lays out, and that's our bed. So yeah, there is Vivian VanGoo's. I'm very excited for her. Ready? We still got a ways to go get her ready. That's the pop top up there, and then right up here there's actually a storage spot that we can hook on. We've got a special container that goes in there and hooks on for storage. Yay! Okay. See, using those little, your phone for, videography is not my strength necessarily, but yeah, so that's Vivvie. I'll probably when we get her set up on our first night camping, although our first day camping is our longest drive, so I might not do it there. It depends. But when I'll take a picture of her before we leave, what she's set up like, and I'll have to send that to Sonia. You're right, Sonia would love that. What? I have we got the Boxio composting toilet. So that's the one that worked for what Bob researched in it. And it also had an extension on it to make it higher because, both of us are pretty darn tall. I'm 5'11", Bob's 6'1". And, but in the extension part, it has storage underneath it to hold all your extra hemp stuff and all the things and bags and things like that. And then it fit just perfectly. We measured it. It just fit all right back there. It's great. It's great. So yeah, that's going to be what it is. So when I do have her all set up and packed ready to go, I'll take pictures of it. And then when we get her set up with the pop top up at our camping spot, I'll take pictures and give a little bit further view. Maybe I'll do a live. Who knows? I don't know. I'll probably have to do an Instagram live. I don't know if I'll do a YouTube live because, well, it'll be on my phone, and you know how that is with me on my phone. Anyway, we have another story. So that's the tour, Vivvie tour, the van tour, and we're really excited. But I do have one more story, for one more camping story, and this is another friend of ours has come back. It's been a while since I have read one of these, and mainly because sometimes when a series gets going in some of these books and the first one is so good, then the follow-up ones I'm not always as enthused on, like Skibby John, who is just all out. Oh gosh, she hasn't done one of Skippy going camping. That would be awesome. But this one is our buddy, let me see, where am I? Here. There, our buddy Scaredy Squirrel. Yep, he's coming to share his story with you. Scaredy Squirrel goes camping. It's been a while since I've read Scaredy Squirrel. You camp in your minivan. Was going to buy a full size, but I now must pay international tuition for my family member. I will kit out my minivan. Yeah, this is, I was really fortunate in getting this Eurovan and having it done. And having here in the Seattle area, Pop Top World and TDI Motors, and Susan at Pop Top World, she owns both places. She fits out camper van, fixes them up, and does those Eurovans. She specializes in Eurovans, and so it was really nice. It was the one I wanted, so yay. All right, Scaredy Squirrel by Melanie Watts. Scaredy Squirrel goes camping. Warning. Scaredy Squirrel insists you check your zippers before reading this book. Okay. Check your zippers. I'm checked. Scaredy Squirrel never goes camping. He'd rather be comfortable inside than risk going out in the rugged wilderness. Besides, setting up camp seems like an awful lot of trouble. A few troublemakers Scaredy Squirrel is afraid could get too close for comfort. Skunks, mosquitoes, quicksand, penguins, the three bears, zippers. So he finds a simple way to sit back and enjoy camping from a safe distance. On television, the joy of camping. Scaredy Squirrel sets up his new television, but he realizes there's a problem. He needs to plug it in. Reaching the nearest electrical outlet will require major survival skills. A few survival supplies Scaredy Squirrel needs to pack. A really long extension cord, popsicles, tomato juice, a bag of onions, dictionary, pliers, instant oatmeal, a fan. Here's the wilderness outfit. Netted hat to dodge bugs, a penny to bring good luck, neckerchief to scout, nose plug to bypass nasty odors, water wings to stay afloat, walkie-talkie to stay in contact, a badge to signal peaceful intentions, camouflage jacket to blend into the great outdoors, rubber boots to be quick and dry. The Scaredy motto, a prepared camper is a happy camper. I don't think I have room for all those things. 0530 hours, leave comfort zone. 0531 hours, run through woods, keep a low profile. 0541 hours, enter campground. 0545 hours, locate electrical outlet. 0548 hours, plug in extension cord. 0549 hours, run back to home base. 0559 hours, get comfy, watch the joy of camping. The campground mission has a tent area, play area, an RV area, washrooms, trash area, electrical outlet. I think Sonia needs this book. The comfort zone. Place a walkie-talkie at the foot of a tree to stay in contact. Mosquitoes are itching to get you. Fan yourself to blow off these thirsty critters. Keep a nose out for skunks. If sprayed, overreact. Wash off the stink with gallons of tomato juice. Wherever there are coolers, penguins rule. They're as cold as ice and won't warm up to you. Toss popsicles to occupy their sharp beaks. Quicksand will bring you down. To avoid that sinking feeling, mix in cement. Wear water wings to stay above it all. Campsite host a zillion zippers. If you get caught, use pliers to break loose. Oh my goodness. Nose plugs are a must in this area in the bathroom. Note to self, if outlet is too high, use dictionary as a step. You're not out of the woods until you get past the three bears. Their weakness? Oatmeal. Serve them a quick bowl and do not snooze. The Scaredy Pledge. Planning is everything. The rubber boot camp. Warm-up routine. Repeat 143 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. The scaredy promise. A fit squirrel is a safe squirrel. And fitness training chart. Obstacle course practice run. The scaredy law of the fittest. Run, but never run into trouble. The outdoor conditions. If it's sunny, go. If it's cloudy, wait. If it's rainy, wait. If it's windy, wait. If it's snowing, wait. If there's volcano activity, cancel. The scaredy rule. If all else fails, take cover and play dead. The following afternoon, right on schedule, Scaredy Squirrel proceeds toward the campground. Scaredy tugs. He pulls. He loop the loops. But suddenly, a penguin appears. This was not part of the plan. Scaredy Squirrel panics. He spins. He dashes. He bolts. He splashes. He climbs. He crashes. He takes cover and plays dead. 30 minutes later. 1 hour later. 2 hours later. Scaredy Squirrel finally gets the drift. He forgets all about the skunks, mosquitoes, quicksand, three bears, penguins, and zippers. The wilderness isn't meant to be seen from afar. It's meant to be enjoyed up close. Scaredy breathes the fresh air, savors roasted marshmallows, gazes up at the stars, gathers pine cones, listens to songs, and gets comfortable. Early the next morning, Scaredy Squirrel plugs in his extension cord and follows it back home. The wild adventure has inspired him to approach camping differently. P.S. Some things are worth the trouble. He's got a toaster for toasting marshmallows. Oh my goodness. Scaredy Squirrel and his penguin problems. I have to go back and find those other Scaredy Squirrel books. Forgot all about the penguin problems that he always had. Oh my goodness. Yes, early elementary kids draw trees just like these trees. I drew one like that last night. I did. I just did the old apple tree. When I was a kid, I always did that. He has acorns in his. We had ours with apple trees. Funny. He can't move with so much gear. I know. Scaredy Squirrel has so much stuff, and he always runs into penguins. Even though it was a putt-putt penguin, he always runs into penguin. Oh my goodness. He's a funny guy. Yes, he is a funny, funny guy. Well, you guys, I won't see you on Sunday, and let's see, I put together, I don't have that calendar. I put together a calendar of, this is my calendar for June, July, and August, and the beginning of September, because I realized things were filling up, and I thought, I need to really plan out where I'm going. But anyway, so I won't be back on Sunday or next Thursday or the next Sunday. I might be on the next Thursday. That would be, let's see, 14th, maybe the 5th, that week of the 16th or something like that. I'm not sure when it is. I'll be until I get to Phoenix, and I'm not into Phoenix until the 13th or the 13th. And so, whatever that day is, but thank you. Fatima, I appreciate that, that you can miss me. I'm gonna miss doing this too, but I'm really excited to get out with my camera, to get out in Yellowstone. Always kind of invigorates me. If I can't make it back up to Alaska, can't get back up to Katmai, I can make it to Yellowstone, and it's just it's a magical place. It's a place that is of such energy and restoration. I mean, I just get so restored when I'm there and walking. I mean, when you realize you're walking on a volcano, on the lid of a volcano, and that it's not that, it's not that deep in that areas. There's so many steam vents around you all over the place, and that you are walking on one of the world's largest calderas, and it's so humbling, but it's so restorative too. I just find it, for me, it it is. I don't know how I missed going there for so many years as younger years and stuff, and it wasn't until I was older that I went. And now I've been. This will be my 5th trip, I think. 5th trip. Yeah, I think so. So anyway, I will check in on Instagram, probably do some Instagram lives on where we are, and I'll see how I can do, if I can do any YouTube lives or anything like that. But mostly, I'm just going to enjoy spending time with Bob and Aldo, and watching the nature. And I think I'm going to start a bit of a kind of a nature journal. I've been watching some things on that, but maybe not in the traditional kind of nature journal. I'll be doing some painting, some drawing, and then some of my own little scribble thoughts. And yeah, it will be fun. I'm really excited to do it. And we're not spending a lot of time every day just driving for like 8 hours. No, I think other than the first 2 days, our longest trip is 4.5 hours, I think, which is great because that gives you lots of time for sightseeing. And for my photography, is usually early in the morning and later in the evening. So sunrise, sunset gives me the bulk of the middle of the day to travel, or in Yellowstone to wander over. And when we first get to Livingston, we're going to spend an afternoon, evening with my nephew. He's gonna sing at the Goat in Livingston, and I'm gonna go enjoy watching him sing, and it'll be just fun. Don't hug the bisons. No, I don't hug the bisons. I'm very cautious of. I'm very. People think that I'm crazy, that I get way too close to the wild animal. I just respect their property and their area very much. I always ask permission before I come onto an area where I know that they're going to be. I ask permission of them and the universe, kind of, and then I just watched. I've studied their behavior, and I've studied them for a lot of time, so I kind of know. And I just, if they look like they're coming my way, I'll just say, oh, I guess I need to step back, or they have something. But they're also very unpredictable, and they are a wild animal. And bison, seriously, their head weighs more than I do, and a lot more, and just their head. So, yeah, I'm not going to mess with them. That and the elk. But the other thing is that it is May, and there will be bison calves, and there could be elk calves too. So we will be cautious of that because the mamas are there, and hopefully some of the bears will be down. We'll see. And I know couple places where there's wolf dens, but they're way up in the hills. So it's about the respect of nature. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to be scratching any bear's ears either. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for being here and for hanging out with me for story time. And I will see you on the next time. But until then, everyone, thank you so much for being here to fill my bucket. I hope this story and art filled yours a little bit. If you need your bucket filled, go back and watch one of your favorites when I'm gone. But until next time, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you. But the first place you'll find it is when you go look in your own mirror. And I'll see you next time.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Feeling alright, we won't go home, we will just stay here downtown. There's not just stars on the boulevard, they're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards, I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous, we could be famous. Come and be famous. You blow my mind, looking like a model, better than the usual. Yeah, you don't even try, not average or typical. I put you on a pedestal.